Megan Keith is one of those special athletes here at these championships that's won through the age groups. Under 20 gold, under 23 gold. Took a bronze on the track in the 10,000 metres in Rome last summer as well. The defending champion Nadia Battocletti, the first woman ever to win under 20, under 23 and senior titles here at this event, comes in as the heavy favourite. Oh, and a fall right on the line here from a couple of the athletes. I think I was worried it was Sarah Lahti, the Swedish athlete, one of the sixth placer from last year, might be hoping to get on the podium, but she navigated that okay, right on the inside there. Lahti's got to keep pushing here. The field's going to sweep across her. Another faller there in the middle of the field as well. Back up on their feet before we got a chance to ID the number left behind on the ground. Looks like everybody is carrying on in the race, but 2 falls in the first 30 or 40 metres. We have had a few falls, but that's more than we've seen so far in this race. Machado getting herself into a good position as well.
Oh, that's sad for Machado. Goodness me. She was at the press conference yesterday, looked very comfortable and ready for a great race, but clearly something's not right for her. And she steps aside and decides enough is enough.
At the moment, Belgium, massive stranglehold going on in a team race. 16 points at the moment, Italy on 38, Britain in 39, so they've nudged themselves ahead of France. But Keith, Tim, I think it's those injury disruptions that have just taken that momentum away. She took a great bronze in Rome at the European Championships behind Battocletti and Van Nuys, and then was injured for the Olympics. She couldn't show her best performance in Paris. So when she gets a clean bill of health, Megan Keith is competitive. She's getting dropped at the moment by Chan and Battocletti, but without that consistency, I think that profile is just looming, I think, for Keith. Hopefully she'll get there in the next couple of years.
Well, she and her coach Roche Cairns have been a fabulous pairing. Born in Inverness, up in the northeast coast of Scotland, Megan Keith. And if you can train up in the weather up there, then you can train in the weather anywhere, as they say. Here are the Belgians on a charge. What astonishing packing. They're in 4th, 5th and 7th at the moment. Megan Keith is being asked big questions here. She's got to try and hang on to Chan here. Chan is struggling. The Turkey athlete in red, Hannah, is also having her own problems. And I think that Megan Keith's got to forget about Battocletti now, because look, she's away. But the battle for the 2nd and 3rd places is something she can really, she can win, I think.
And I think Battocletti has just turned the screw. I think at the end of the hill here on this lap, she just started to put her foot down and she kicked off the top of it. That's the mark of a true cross-country runner, isn't it? You get to the top of the hill and then you just kick on down. And this time Battocletti will take the bell in what I think is building in to a race win, a race dominating winning margin.
Well, there was about a 13-second gap behind these three to the Belgian pack that's coming through. Let's see what it is now. Megan Keith 5 seconds down. Battocletti is really putting the pressure on now. I think with every 100 meters she's accelerating and moving away. But look, the 4th placer yet hasn't come through. There it is, 24 seconds down on Battocletti. So between Megan Keith and the Belgian, that Belgian trio, there's 19 seconds now. I think we're looking at the 3 medalists, barring disaster.
Battocletti, the hard running is done for the Italian. She's on the penultimate straight here in Lagoa. I find so often at the European Cross Country Championships that people try and try and try to win these titles, and once they win them, there's no stopping them. And Battocletti has won this title here again in style. She's streaking ahead. It's been 2 under 20 golds, 2 under 23 golds, and now for Nadia Battocletti, a 2nd senior gold here at the European Championships. Megan Keith, a medal as a senior on the track, and now a medal as a senior on the cross country. But Battocletti, arms aloft, takes another European title. The Italian absolutely untouchable here in Lagoa. Megan Keith, a well-judged, well-paced race from the Brit. Takes a silver medal, and Yasmin Chan again on the podium.
That is a magnificent run from Battocletti. And she, frankly, only really worked hard the second half, didn't she? I think that winning margin, 15 seconds, could have been substantially more.
I'm really happy. Also, it's impressive to look back and see that it's from 2018 that I did the best in this championship, so I'm really happy. I thought last year that 2024 will be, it was crazy, and I don't know how can I imagine the 2025. And right now in 2025 I can say, oh my God, it's beautiful, and I don't know, more precious and more impressive than 2024. I'm so happy also because there is my fan club here, Straordinaria, so I'm really happy, yes. Crazy, I saw the flag with my mate near the course, so I know that my mom passed like this.
There's the official result of the senior women's race here in Lagoa. Nadia Battocletti, consecutive titles. Megan Keith, the silver, and Yasmin Chan, the bronze. Here's the team result for the women's race here in the senior. It was Belgium, 16 points, so dominant here, ahead of Great Britain and France.
Thierry Ndickamwinayo of Spain, third in the European Championships last year in Rome over 10,000 metres, and twice he's finished 9th in the World Cross Country, including last year. There is the Swiss athlete Dominic Lokinyamo Lobalu, European champion at 10,000 metres last year in Rome. He finished 4th in the Olympic 10,000 last year in Paris, just outside the medals. And he's a 59-minute half marathon runner. And there he is, the main man today, the expected winner. Pressure on him, the world champion at 10,000 metres, Jimmy Gressier of France. Away they go then. And this field of 88 starters charges up the opening slope. Jimmy Gressier has run very sensibly these last 7 or 8 minutes. He's just eased up towards the front end, and now he's up alongside Arche, and this is where maybe he's going to do the Battocletti tactic of just running alongside the leaders for a lap or so and then move away. He does look comfortable. Everybody knows he's the strong favourite, and he's got everything in his locker. You look at him, he's world-class at 5,000, at 10,000, at half marathon. He's a 3:32 1,500-metre runner. He's run the equivalent of 3:49, 3:50 for a mile, and he looks so fluid and up for it, doesn't he, Jimmy Gressier? He only decided to race this weekend after a good race in Switzerland last week. That sort of confirmed for him, I think, that his preparations were on track, and now he moves up alongside the Spanish vest there of Ndickamwinayo, and he's beginning to test them. And this is actually a pretty aggressive early surge, less than 9 minutes on the clock, and Jimmy Gressier pulling this field apart. And I said it 2 or 3 minutes ago, there's a pack of about 20 close together. Well, now it's being ripped apart very quickly.
And look at this, Ndickamwinayo alongside Gressier. If Gressier was feeling good, Tim, do you not think this would be the stage, the world 10,000 metre champion? He'd just be going. He wouldn't be looking back. He would just be trying to dominate that in the race, and instead he's having to give way to Ndickamwinayo.
No, I agree, but don't let's forget that Jimmy Gressier last summer winning so many big races, including that 3,000 metres in Zurich with fabulous finishing speed. Beat Grant Fisher of the USA and Sweden's Andreas Almgren in the Zurich Diamond Lead, and a massive dust-up at the finish of the 7.5 lap race there. He won in Tokyo with a 12.66 last 100 metres over 10,000 metres to storm through in the closing 150 metres or so. So Gressier is a supreme racer, and I don't think, unless he's under real pressure here and having a bad day at the office, I don't think he'll worry about Ndickamwinayo here. But credit to the Spaniard. He's throwing everything at the Frenchman that he can. Thierry Ndickamwinayo has only been cleared to compete for Spain since April 2023, so what, some 2.5 years ago. But just looking at the World Cross Country, he's placed 9th twice as Ndickamwinayo. He's mixed it with the very best on the global scene, and on this Continental Championship, ironically, he's up against a world champion. If it wasn't for Jimmy Gressier, he'd be storming away with his title, and vice versa. But Gressier does look smooth. He still looks pretty relaxed for my money. 21 minutes on the clock, and how far to go? Only a couple of minutes of running.
And that was a big old look round from Gressier. Double check, triple check. It's just us two. This is it. And I think you're right, Tim. When you cast your eye back to those tremendous runs Gressier had on the track, does he just wait here? Does he wait? He would have had a careful look at the course yesterday. This is pretty much the penultimate straight here. They've got to judge their effort correctly, and Ndickamwinayo is trying to drop Gressier.
Jimmy Gressier is the consummate finisher, and Dickham and I will know that full well, but he's giving everything to the Frenchman he can. Gressier's got a battle on his hands, maybe a tougher one than was expected here. The Spaniard leads by half a metre from Jimmy Gressier. The penultimate left-hand turn here. It's all going to be down to the last 100 metres. They turn here. Is it going to be Dickham and I taking gold for Spain as Gressier stumbles on the grass, and it is going to be gold for Spain. The biggest upset of the day, perhaps, in the final race. Gressier walks across the line there. Was that stumble critical? Surely he knew that the finish was so short that he had to get it right, but he didn't. And here comes Lobalu against Scott Beattie of Britain. Is it going to be bronze for Britain? I don't know. I don't think it was. I think maybe it was bronze for Switzerland. They're very, very tight indeed. It's going to be down to a photo finish. O'Leary 5th for Ireland, O'Culfin in 6th, Caranjo in 7th, Sundstrom 8th, Las Heras, and look at it's the Irish, Fay and Dalton there in 10th and 11th by the looks of things. Brilliant finishing. But Dickham and I timed that finish to absolute perfection.
At about the last 200 metres or so, Gressier at this point, just parallel to the finishing straight, he tried to get past Ndika Mwanayu. And Ndika Mwanayu, fantastic positioning. He's put himself on the inside, he's running the shorter line, and just here with 40 metres to go, Gressier catches his toe just in the final stages. I think he was ready to launch a final punch there into the finish line.
And Ndika Mwanayu eventually winning as Jimmy Gressier chose to stroll across the line.
I feel good to get this title. Yeah, good to present my country. Yeah, happy to get this gold medal. Yeah, we reach last lap. There is where we start the race. We just fight until we get the finish.
I'm so tired, but I'm happy. I'm not satisfied, but it's a sport.
There it is, Tyrion Dickham Mwanayu, 22.05, winning from Jimmy Gressier, the world champion over 10,000 metres from France, beaten into the silver medal position on this occasion. Fabulous run from Dickham Mwanayu, and the bronze medal going to Dominic Lobalu of Switzerland, with Scott Beattie of Great Britain a fabulous 4th. Spain, Ireland, France, the medalists, the teams that take medals. Great Britain down in 4th. Portugal are fighting 5th there, and Norway in 6th place without any member of the Ingebrigtsen family. There is Renders, Willem Renders of Belgium, European junior champion over 5,000 this past summer, 15th in this race last year, but massive personal best this last summer of 7:47 for 3,000 and 13:31 for 5,000. And then the favourites we're focusing upon here, Håkon Moorburg of Norway, European junior champion, a great double in Tampere, over 3,000 and 5,000. He starts here as favourite, and listen to this, he's run 3:30 for 1,500 metres. 8.5 minutes on the clock, and they hear the bell this time. They're on the final circuit. Renders, the Belgian, one of the pre-race favourites, leading from Håkon Moorburg of Norway and his compatriot Magnus Øyen. And Øyen is a big danger too. He was 4th last year. He was bronze medalist in the 5,000 metres in Tampere. He's very strong. He's run 28.38 for 10,000 metres. And these Norwegians are breathing down the neck of Renders, who's under real pressure here. Imagine going into the last mile of this race, the last 1,500 metres or so, and having a 3:30 1,500 metre runner 5 metres behind you. This is where Renders has got to gauge his effort right here. He is strong. We know that. He's got a good 3,000, a good 5,000 time. He may not have that finishing speed of the other two. He's only run 3:50 for 1,500 metres. On paper, at least, he's 20 seconds slower than the Norwegian Berg over 1,500 metres. So he has got to make this next 700 metres really tell to get a gap on the two Norwegians. And actually, where's Berg gone?
Yeah, we've lost Moberg there.
We've lost Berg, the one of the pre-race favourites. Øyen, though, is still in there, the 4th placer from last year.
Perhaps there was a fall around the hairpin section. I don't know what has happened to Håkon Moberg. He looked absolutely full of running. You can see Øyen almost looking around saying, where is he? And that has brought the likes of Gaetan and Tunç, the Spanish and the Turkish athlete there together. They're all looking around wondering where the European under-20 1,500 and 3K champion has gone. He's not there. He's not in the top 10 anymore. So if he has fallen over, he hasn't got back on his feet really. But Oscar Gaetan, he is eating away at this lead here of Renders. We saw those great judged runs in the women's race from Lucy Patorel and Emma Hickey to come through for silver and bronze. I think Gaetan has done something similar here, and my only fear here is that Renders, he pushed so hard because he was trying to ensure that Håkon Moberg wasn't going to be on his shoulder. Has he put too much into that penultimate lap? Well, or is he going to fly down the downhill section?
Hopefully he's getting some information from the sidelines about how Gaetan is chasing him. Oscar Gaetan, the 19-year-old Spaniard in second. And there's, Bunkic of Norway. Well, he's stepped aside. Lukas Bunkic, the 17-year-old, is down and out, watching the race on the big screen, I think. But Renders holding that lead at the moment, although Gaetan is charging. Gaetan on paper is some 20 seconds slower over 3,000 metres than Renders. Renders has got to get this right. I haven't seen him glance round yet. Maybe he has at one or two of these turns to see what's going on behind him. What's the gap? We can't tell. There it is. It's only about 10 metres, and it's so much easier. If you've ever run a relay with a baton in your hand, it's so much easier to have a target, to have somebody to chase and run down than to be in the lead. And now Renders has a little glance over his shoulder, and the gap all of a sudden is 3 metres, and they come in towards the final section now. This, the big finishing straight, and Renders looks spent. I don't think he can respond to this charge from the Spaniard Gaetan. Oscar Gaetan of Spain could be heading here for gold. Renders has a little glance over his shoulder in second place. He's still got a chance. He's running out of track though. And this has been a brilliant run from Oscar Gaetan of Spain. Just that last left-hand turn to negotiate before charging to the line on the grass. As Renders comes back, is the Belgian going to get there? He has judged this to perfection. Oh my word, that is majestic. Brilliant timing there from Renders to come back at the Spaniard literally over the last 50 or 60 metres and snatch the lead back critically as the finish line was crossed.
But this finishing effort from Renders was just inspired, and Gaetan, the poor lad, he must have thought, coming down into that penultimate straight, that he timed it absolutely perfect. But Renders, he's a champion on the track for a reason, and he's transferred that here to the cross country.
It was really hard. I started a little bit too quickly, and then the Spaniard, he managed his race really well, which almost made him win. So I can learn a lot from him. It was a hard course for me to manage my effort, but I'm happy with the result.
There it is, confirmation of gold for Belgium. Willem Renders lives up to his reputation. He takes gold with 13.11 from Gaetan of Spain, 13.12. How tight was that? Really tight indeed. And Alois Abraham of France taking the bronze, a further 7 seconds back.
Here is the British athlete, Innes Fitzgerald, the defending champion. She's got an opportunity to match another British athlete, Steph Twell. We're getting a hat-trick of under-20 continental European cross-country titles today, and there they all go. They're going to go back to their teams. That was a nervous wait there for these women. You could see the nerves. Some of the athletes wobbling on the line. It's important to get this first 500, 600 metres right.
The thing is, this is a 4.5 kilometre circuit, a race. Innes Fitzgerald in the lead there from Germany's Erler is over a minute quicker at 5,000 metres than Erler. So it is an interesting clash, and you make a really good point that Erler is a mountain running specialist. Innes Fitzgerald, though, is head and shoulders above the rest on paper. That doesn't necessarily mean that she will walk away with this one very comfortably, even though she's going for her 3rd consecutive title here. But it would need to be a bit of a disaster for Innes Fitzgerald of Great Britain to not win this one. The gap's opening up already, and the fact that those gaps are opening up, Hannah, with 4 minutes on the clock, shows quite a few of those athletes in the top 20 are already redlining. They're pushing it. They're being dragged out to the absolute extreme of what they're capable of.
And look at that from Innes Fitzgerald. We've mentioned it time and time again, going for a hat-trick of titles, a minute faster than anyone else this season over 5K, but she's still looking behind, and that's just what athletics is. You second-guess yourself, you doubt yourself, you're pushing and you're pushing, you're pushing. There'll be some crowd support here. She might be getting input from friends or family or team coaches, or maybe even Gavin Pavey, her coach, to say, don't worry, you've got a huge lead. And it was a strong move going on from Emma Hickey, but she's been joined here by the Frenchwoman Lucy Patorel. There's been some very well judged runs in this final lap. Yeah, he's still there, the athlete from Turkey. I mentioned this is her 4th try at this race. She's not made it onto the podium yet. She'll be desperate to try and do that. All to fight for behind. Their medals are very close. There's Fitzgerald stretches out over half a minute ahead of anyone else in Europe.
I mean, that is ridiculous, over 15 minutes of running. In fact, that 30-second lead was after 11 minutes, 20 seconds of running. I mean, astonishing dominance. Britain, if she can be managed well by Joe and Gavin over these next few years, Great Britain have a wonderful talent here, an athlete who at senior level will be a major factor in major championships, and maybe this summer come the Europeans and Commonwealths.
Fitzgerald here, just entering into the final section of the course. This is the penultimate finish straight, if you like, before the finish, we can't call it a straight, before the finish pen of 20 or 25 metres or so. So Fitzgerald, 14 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock so far. She's made light work of a very tricky course here. She could be on for one of the biggest winning margins we've ever seen in this under-20 women's age group. She takes the final corner, and there'll be nothing but daylight between Innes Fitzgerald and her 3rd straight European cross-country title in the under-20 category. She raises 3 fingers aloft. She matches the feats of Steph Twell, the British athlete. They are the only 2 ever to have taken 3 titles. Lucie Patuel of France coming through for a well-judged silver medal. 30 seconds behind Fitzgerald, but what a run from her. And Hickey comes through for the bronze medal, the first ever Irish individual event medal in this category. What a run from Hickey.
I guess quite a lot of relief. There was a lot of pressure going into today, so it was nice to have pulled it off and got those 3 wins and lots of confidence going into the under-23 age group next year. I've learnt so much going through the age group, starting off as a 16-year-old, coming 4th in Turin. I was gutted after that race, but to come out and win today and have 3 wins overall, it's amazing.
There's Fitzgerald, huge winning margin for the Brit, her 3rd consecutive title. She takes the gold. Lucie Patuel of France, the silver, and Emma Hickey of Ireland, Ireland's first ever individual medal in this event.
Yoli Lileso, he's probably the pre-race favourite, was at the press conference yesterday. The European under-23 10,000 metres champion, trains with Nilsson and Niels Laros, got great speed and great strength. Nick Griggs of Ireland, so much frustration for him, so many near misses. 2nd in this race last year, 2nd and 3rd in the under-20 races the previous 2 years. He's a 3:52 miler, Griggs, watch him. And there is Will Barnicott, the defending champion, going for his 3rd consecutive title. He is therefore the defending champion. They're on the way then in this 4th race of the day. So Griggs hits the front, and this is a young Irishman with so much frustration in those legs. Griggs, just 20 years old himself. He's got at least another year in this couple of years in this age group. 2nd in the Irish cross-country championships recently, Griggs. We know he's in good form. He holds the world record, get this, might resonate with many of you listening, he holds the world record for park run. Ran 13:44 at Belfast last year. And he's coached by my old mate Mark Kirk, who was a dentist in Belfast, who was a 1:46 800 metre runner back in the 80s. So, yeah, a lot of good knowledge has gone into the training of Nick Griggs as he begins to stretch this field now. And for the first time, Hannah, I get the impression somebody's got the bull by the horns in this race, who's got real credibility and is pushing on strongly. And those gaps have opened incredibly quickly. And it's almost like Nick Griggs has taken the brakes off and unleashed this power in the middle stage of the race. Back in 2nd place, tucked in beside him, is Aurélien Raja of France, 21-year-old, who again on paper is solid, but not in the same class as Griggs. He's over 30 seconds slower at 5,000 metres. And these stats matter, because if you've run 13:05 for 5,000, you've entered a category of ability that puts you head and shoulders above athletes who have never broken 13:30, for example. And that difference on the track, there's no reason why you can't extrapolate it and apply it to this sort of environment. I mean, yes, it's a cross-country race, it's slightly different, but the fact is that Griggs is a class apart from those around him at the moment up at the front end. Griggs has destroyed Raja here. He's destroyed the rest of the field. He's a 3:52 miler. He's 13:05 runner for 5,000 metres. He is significantly superior to anybody behind him when you look at that combination of speed, endurance and strength. And this will be a magnificent perhaps the most dominant run of the day here from Nick Griggs, although Innes Fitzgerald was pretty special, wasn't she, in the opening race of the day, the under-20 race, where she took gold for Great Britain. But this is going to be gold for Ireland on the one relatively long straight stretch here on the course is Nick Griggs. His coach Mark Kerr will be in possession of a chest that is exploding with pride as his charge takes the penultimate left-hand turn. Griggs, a little glance over his shoulder there. He is winning this at a canter. He's winning it with consummate ease. He's blown this field apart mid-race. One finger is held aloft because he is the champion in the under-23 men's race. His time unofficially 17:47. Brilliant running from the Frenchman coming through for second place. Raja there. He can be delighted with that. He took the race to Griggs, and Griggs responded with interest. And a bronze for Boudy there as he comes through. Absolutely superb. France second and third. Lilesso takes fourth, just outside the medals.
Two more Irish across the line there. Morgan and Murphy. That's going to tie up the team race.
With interest.
Because it's two French across the line, but we haven't got sight on the second Frenchman. You could hear that roar. It was audible above the crowd, above the tannoy, and the cheer across the line for Nick Griggs. His winning margin of 12 seconds is the largest winning margin we've seen here in history in the men's under-23 race. Radja, it was brave from him. He pushed the pace. He went with Griggs. And Boudy judged it really well to take silver and bronze. What a lovely moment there between the teammates.
How often do you see that? A smile before the line with a teammate waiting for you. It's pretty rare. It's very, very special.
I'm buzzing. I've been in the mix for so long. I don't know what the outside world's going to look like, but yeah, I feel unbelievable. I couldn't have dreamed this. I've dreamt of this going exactly like this, and yeah, you're always coming back from your run thinking, am I being delusional, double goals? But yeah, I think that's down to the lads, that's down to me. I think we all put the effort in there today, and I said to them as we walked out, all we can do is put our best foot forward. Let's forget about the result. If we try our best, we leave it all out there in the course, we can do something special today. So I think we all did that, and every single person left it all out there in the course. So I can't describe it. It's the thing of dreams for me, and yeah, I'm really happy and I'm really proud that I could come home, win a gold individually, and the lads could bring home the team goal for Ireland.
There it is, Nick Griggs, champion in the under-23 race. At last, he takes a gold. 17:47 his winning time ahead of Raja. And the bronze medal going to Boudy, the French in second and third behind Griggs' dominant run. Lilesso of Denmark in fourth place, just outside the medals.
Ilona Mononen of Finland as the bronze medalist from the last edition of this race, and had a wonderful 2025. She won the European Team Champs, the European Under-23s and the World Universities, and then finished the season with a personal best at the World Championships over that steeplechase. Maria Ferreira took silver behind Phoebe Anderson 12 months ago, but the Spaniard struck gold at the Under-23 Track Championships this summer over 5,000 metres.
Nearly 9 minutes on the clock, and these two Spaniards are looking really strong, Hannah. I mean, Maria Ferreira won that European Junior cross-country title back in 2022. When she won in Bergen this summer, the European Under-23 5,000, she won it by over 8 seconds. That was in late July, but she's not particularly fast either. She's only run 4:14 for 1,500 metres, but she is strong. Ran 32 minutes in San Sebastian for a 10K on the roads back in February. So Ferrero, I think, here doing the right thing, running to her strength in this mid-race section, really trying to push it hard and stretching this field out. And the reward she's getting, she can't even see. It's with these odd athletes like Thompson, the Irish athlete, beginning to drop away off the back of this pack. Remember, it was, 10 strong for the first lap? It's now about 6 or 7.
And Ferrero, I love the discipline here from the Spaniard. She's barely looked back, and perhaps it is because she can sense Mononen, she can hear her, she knows she's right there. But Ferrero, she's using every part of this course, every metre, as ferociously as she can. And it would be wonderful if Ferrero could turn that under-20 gold into an under-23 gold as the two Germans locked in the battle for third and fourth, Schlackman and Merkel. But here we go again, Ferreira. Every time there's a twist and turn, she just gives herself a few metres over Mononen. For the first time there, Mononen's knee lift has gone. The cadence has gone for Mononen, but we saw this with Renders and Gaetan in the under-20 race just now. You thought Gaetan had timed it right and he was caught on the line. But Ferreira here, giving it everything on the downhill section. That could be a winning move from Ferreira.
I think it is. Mononen's broken, hasn't she? She's been beaten. And Ferrero easing away here, Hannah, to a victory, surely. And what a wonderful run it's been. I love to see this. I love to see hard work, somebody aggressive and taking a race on from the front. I love to see them getting their just desserts. It's absolutely brilliant for Maria Ferrero. Mononen is gone. All of a sudden, it's happened within 20 or 30 seconds.
And it's happened on a downhill section. And downhill running is still hard. The pounding that goes through your legs is hard to manage, hard to keep your cadence going. But Ferrero, I said it a few moments ago, she has used every section, every metre aggressively, positively. And Maria Ferrero has got a couple of corners to go here. She's tired, Ferrero. Mononen is working hard. I don't think the Finnish woman is going to muster anything here over the last couple of corners. Ferrero, for the first time, looks behind, cracks a smile. Maria Ferrero converts an under-20 gold a few years ago into an under-23 gold to go with her track title. It's gold for Spain, and Ferrero, silver for Mononen. She carries on her streak of podium performances here at the European Cross Country Championship. She gave it a good go. And Pia Schlappmann locked in a battle here with Merkel. Schlappmann looking to improve on her 4th place finish last year to a medal at the European Cross Country Championship. She digs in and she does make it onto the podium. Merkel in 2nd, and the team battle begins.
I'll tell you what, she doesn't look too overstressed, does she? She's run it to perfection. I talk about planning a race, how to take it on, how to beat your rivals, and sticking to the plan, and it coming up trumps. Absolutely brilliant.
Pues me siento muy feliz de poder haber conseguido el oro aquí también. Y nada, súper feliz por todo, por que sea cerca de mi casa, por haber estado con mi familia, por el equipo que tenemos y nada, pues a por el año que viene.
And the home team, the Portuguese athletes, this could be their best shot at gold with Nada and Alphonse going in their quartet. And the Brits, a strong history here in this event. I mentioned that they've gone to go woman, they've opted to go woman, woman, man, man. That's what we're being told. We'll have to see if that plays out. And the bronze medalists last time round. France took the silver. It was actually a 3-way photo finish between the Brits and the French. And these guys, the Italians, they know how to win this title. Sabatini anchored them in Turin in front of a home crowd.
That gap is, what, about 20 metres, maybe a little bit more at the moment, with France in 3rd through Gerard, Bilo of Belgium in 4th. But Zanoni's run a brilliant leg.
She really has. She let Dixon do the work up the hill and pulled the pair of them away from Girard. And Dixon now, you can see slightly wobbly legs perhaps off that section there. Dixon gave it everything up the hill. And she's hopefully going to hold on to a 2nd position. There goes Alphonse. The undertake for the Portuguese team. But Italy, the reigning champions, they take the sweatband first. From Britain, Callum Elson on the anchor leg for the British team. And the French holding on to bronze just ahead of Belgium. And there goes Isaac Nada, the reigning world champion over 1500. Can he get a medal for the host nation this afternoon?
Well, Nada, surprise champion for many in Tokyo over 1500 metres as he dipped for gold ahead of Jake Whiteman at those World Championships just a few weeks back. But it is Italy and Great Britain out in front. France and Belgium a couple of seconds back. Portugal changed over in 7th place. And Nada, so much expectation on him here, with Ireland right behind him in 4th place. I said in 4th place, in 6th place, excuse me. They were just a couple of seconds back at the turnover, but Italy with Arese, and Arese very experienced. He's a smart racer. He will know there's some big names behind him. Broke the Italian record. He ran 3:30 for 8th at the Olympic Games last year, Arese. He's got a smart racing head on his shoulders, and he's done 2 or 3 cross-country races recently to build up that strength for this challenging circuit. And he's got to save something here. I get the feeling, Hannah, that what he's got to do is really judge this carefully so that he's got something for that last 400-500 metres.
I feel that as well. I think Arese, if he can just relax here and then just absolutely drop the hammer off the top of the hill, he should be all right. Nada is on the charge. Look at him skipping over those lumps and bumps. And I think Elson's got a tough job here, the Brit. He will want to run it like Arese. He will want to run conservatively and then not be vulnerable in the closing stages. But the Brit is such a target at the moment for the French, for the Belgians, and for Nada. Look, Nada is going to get him in a medal position before he's even reached halfway.
He is. Do you know what? It really helps in this sort of situation to have somebody 5 or 10 metres ahead of you, no more. If the gap's 30 or 40 metres, like Callum Elson is having to face here, then it makes it very tough because you haven't got a sort of psychological, visual target as well. Look at that. That's the gap between Elson, who's in second, then coming through in third place are the French. Nada's got the Portuguese, the home nation, up into fourth place. And I wonder if Arese can hold them all at bay. Nada on a charge. Massive pride, of course, powering those legs for the world champion from the home nation. Home advantage for him. Is that worth a few metres? Callum Elson, who's a 3:53 miler indoors. Great racer, 3:35, who ran a couple of years ago, 1,500 metres. And Nada now moving up towards the medal positions, attacking all the time. He's up into fourth. Arese of Italy leads. Elson of Great Britain in second. He's under pressure. A little glance over his shoulder. The Guyette of France in third. And then Nada in fourth here. And Nada hunting them down. And how much money would he put against Nada getting up there to at least the silver medal position?
This is so tough. Nada, the effort he put up the hill was absolutely astronomical. And when you pull up alongside people and they have something that is so soul destroying, you want to fly past people. But Nada got on the shoulder of the Frenchman. He responded. But now Nada glides past Callum Elson. There's no way he can catch Arese. Surely Nada checks over his shoulder. He's got to absolutely go for it here. The Portuguese athlete is flying down the back straight.
But Arese, I think, has an unclosable lead. Nada has worked miracles. Took over in what, 6th place, has moved through to second. A battle royal between the French and the British for the bronze medal. Italy haven't yet got a medal today. This will be their first of the day in the 5th race. We've had the age group races. This the relay. This the team one that they will all celebrate, perhaps a little bit more. But Arese storming away here, and surely Pietro Arese is not to be caught. Nada is going to give Portugal a medal. That'll be precious too. But Pietro Arese, his coach Silvano Danzi on the sidelines roaring him home, and it's a comfortable victory for the Italians. Goal for them in the mixed relay. And look at this, Nada taking second, almost caught. Brilliant running there from Callum Elson in the closing stages to take the bronze for Great Britain. Wow.
I cannot wait to see the split on that leg for Isat Nada. You know, it's not a traditional distance, and here comes Mohamed Attawi. I think don't know what went wrong for the Spaniards. We expected them to be right out there involved, but that leg from Nada, you don't fluke at World Championships. You do not. He was an unexpected winner, but a deserved winner, and that run there shows he's wintering well, and he's going to be very, very excited as he looks towards the next 12 months.
4:16 for Nada, Arese 4:25. Goodness me. He was, 9 seconds quicker, Nada, than Arese. But the gap between him and the Italian when they took over for that final leg, just too big to close.
I'm so proud to take part of a so great team, so this elite team of guys and girls. So I'm very happy about that, and I have to say that I love chess, okay, and we are not individual in individual race, so we have to cooperate, and like chess, all the heavy pieces must be in the correct position in order to checkmate. So we have the 2 tower, Gaia and Marta, really strong and consistent. Me, the horse, the weaker than the other, but in some mud situation could be really tricky. And then we have the bishop, because he can sneak through the enemy's wall and give us the beast gold medal. So
Confirmation then of gold for Italy, ahead of Portugal and Great Britain. France, Belgium and Ireland, the usual suspects up there in the top half dozen places. As Hannah said, not sure what happened to the Spanish. Don't know if they had a faller or what, but they were down in 7th place there with a squad that many expected to be up amongst the medals, certainly challenging more closely for the medals.
Hi, I'm Nadia Battocletti. Sign up now to the European Athletics YouTube channel.